You're listening to thinkBIGradio.com, where big thinkers come to teach and learn. Your goals are our goals, and your success makes us successful.
Welcome you, Bruce Springs, to thinkbigradio.com.
Okay.
And one of the things that we like for you to do as soon as we get started is share how people can reach you. Because we know that that's definitely important. So we like to get that out the beginning of the show, the middle, and at the very end. So if a person wanted to reach you, Bruce, what's the best way they can reach out right now?
Well, the most optimal way is to scan the QR code that's over my shoulder right here.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's number one. Okay. Number two, I should have had this prepared, but I wasn't. Didn't have it ready, and I apologize for that.
Oh, no problem.
You know what I'm saying? But you may be doing this in a meeting or something like this.
Okay.
Okay. So now, if I open up the chat room, copy and paste, and there I am.
Okay, great.
Now
All
I'm
right.
in the
Well,
chat. You know what I mean?
definitely
That's
that.
another way to share it.
Okay.
And so when you're face to face with somebody, you share it that way. You expose the QR code on your smartphone. But what we're gonna talk about is where we are as a society, as a business society.
Okay.
At least from my point of view and from the people that I've seen. And we're gonna talk about that. And again, your paper card is useless. That box of 500 is collecting dust. So
Right.
I don't want to get too deep because I know I had a couple of TV shows on public access and I directed a little bit, so I understand. That's why I didn't know whether you had a platform or you had like a intro with music and all that stuff, and then you introduce me and then we have a conversation. So
Yeah, when we do
cool,
it when we do it the other way, through the blog talk platform, all
Mhm.
that comes up this way. Once it's done, it'll have all that information in. But
Or
so
you're
let me
gonna
ask
chop
you
it up, you're gonna edit it.
let me ask you our
Mhm.
first question though. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? If you have a large or small family.
Oh man, I'm a charlatan. I'm a unicorn. Ain't too many of us around anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Said I'm grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, career artist and graphic artist. I've been printing for going on 25 years now, and then you know what I mean. And then I would say my last print job was in optical media. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And I would say a year ago, April, we went out of business. Thank you, Spotify, Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Did
Oh,
CDs and DVDs, that factory went out of business. So I went to my previous employer, and because 10 years before that, the person I'm working for now, he was in printing. He's been doing it for over 30 years. And so
okay.
I went back to him, you know what I'm saying? Because we were out of work. I was like, I can't collect unemployment. So I look for him. He told me, no, we're not printing anymore. We're making this, and it's the digital card. It's the digital card that you see now. And so I've been with him for a year and a half. Going back again, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, been in Charlotte all my life. And like I said again, the average childhood, not what I'm saying, had my share of it, but what I'm saying, for the most part, I had that mentality. Well, one of my OGs in my neighborhood gave me the nickname of Cut 'em Loose Bruce. And what he meant by that is when things started to go a different direction than I wanted to at an early age, I knew it was time to cut some off. I got to go do what I need to do.
Right.
And that's you don't find that kind of that kind of trait in young people, you know what I'm saying, at that age. But God blessed me with, what I'm saying, some sort of I wouldn't say some sort of, but a discerning spirit. When I saw that the ties were changing, time to, what I'm saying, move away because you may be get caught up in certain things, I had to leave. So what I'm saying, got my education, got into the printing industry, and now here I am.
All right. Good. Good. So what made
Excuse me.
no problem. Bless you. So when you decided to get into this business, it was more so because of what started happening in the economy, and then it was still right in line with what you were doing before, except it just moved digitally.
Right. And that lets you know, for me, and that's what I'm riding with, you know what I'm saying? To God be the glory, you know what I'm saying? In the name of Jesus, because again, he lined all this up, you know what I mean? For the real. And you think about, you know what I'm saying, something being a negative, but in actuality, it was a positive. Because, you know, this point says it all. I was only out of work for 2 hours.
Okay.
A young lady, a friend of mine at the job, she worked the day shift. I worked the night shift. She informed me via text that the plant was closing. And I just thought the night shift was just going to close. But she said, no, everything is gone. So for a minute, I got kind of worried. Like, man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Gather myself. I said, let me go holler at my man, you know what I'm saying? A guy used to work for 10 years ago to see if he needs some help. I don't care what it is. I just need work. You know?
See, and that's definitely a testament to not burning bridges, because so many people, they leave places not thinking that they, you know, part of their life cycle, they may have to actually go back to that place. And so they just do it they do it the wrong way. And so, and definitely this gentleman remembered you, and then he put you right on board. And so how did you get into this particular role? Because I met you through this networking and from a referral from someone that brought me to you. So what do you do for your role? I mean, what is it that, you know, makes you tick, makes you wake up every morning?
Well, I've you know what I'm saying, I've always been, I wouldn't, well, put it to you like this. When I started networking, it was rough for me because, you know, when we're one-to-one, I mean, like I said before, I used to be a producer. I used to host a TV show. You know what I mean? I hosted, I produced 2 shows on cable access in the past. But the thing about it was, when I'm behind the camera, the reactions isn't immediate. You understand what I'm saying? Unlike an audience, you know what I'm saying? When you're standing in front of somebody and have to deliver a speech, then that's why a lot of people get nervous. You know what I mean? I would say the first time I had to do in a lot of referral networking groups, each person that's part of the group has to give some sort of presentation about their business.
Right.
So in this previous my entry level referral group, it was 7 minutes, and when I got up to talk in front of them, I truly understand when a comedian says they bomb. I bomb. It was a train wreck, man. But the blessing part of it, like, you know, so I didn't take that defeat and just lay down from it. I kind of sat back. I was like, man, what did I do wrong? And the guy in the other, he gave me some pointers. And the blessing behind it was, in that referral networking group, it was a group that met under that umbrella, that met in the lunchtime, and then it was one that met in the afternoon. So I went directly to the one in the afternoon and did my speech again, but with some other things that some other people told me that, you know, like, okay, I came out a little bit better this time, because they, you know, saying he told me, you know, saying, practice in the mirror, you do this. When I thought about it, you say you write the stuff. I say, hey, man, I had all this written down. I said, shoot, I'm gonna do it like a teleprompter. So I stood in front, I had my iPad in my hand and kind of read off. Cause see, what the misunderstanding that I got when I was start coming in, everybody that I saw was freestyling.
Right.
You know what I mean by when I say somebody who got it down and don't have any notes and they can speak it off the. Now, granted, we don't see what led them up to get to that point, but still they were freestyling. So I thought I couldn't have any notes or I couldn't have anything. But what I come to learn is, whatever it is you need to do, however you need to do, no matter how you think you may feel or somebody may think about you, trust me, they're not even thinking about you, really. That's all in your head. So,
that's self-talk.
Right, exactly. So if it's okay if I stand up, you know what I'm saying, to have a pad. I mean, hey, I've seen Steve Jobs when he's delivering, you know what I'm saying, one of the new products, he had an iPhone in his hand. Now, whether he had it in his hand to demonstrate or he could have had some notes on there, whatever, all it's saying is, whatever it is that you do, And if that helps you, then that's what you do. Now, granted, if the iPad run out of power or something like that, then you're gonna have to make do with the situation. But at the same time, don't worry about what people say, what people may be thinking about you, because most of the time they're not even thinking about you. That's all up here. So those are one of the first things I learned. You know what I'm saying, when I first got into networking. Because I'm gonna say this point, and I'm gonna let you take it.
Oh no, that's fine. We
Yeah,
love to hear what you have to say. They hear me all the time.
yeah. Well, see, for me, you know what I'm saying, I had to learn how to network. Okay. It was when you're face to face networking, it was all these cues and making sure if the people got their feet pointed together, and that means that they don't want nobody to be invited in the conversation. And I know you've heard that, but the main thing about it, what gets a lot of people in trouble, is that we approach networking relationships or business relationships like personal relationships. And this is what I mean, at least in my mind. When you see a group of people together, they all know each other. And
Right.
then you, the other person walking in, they're going to look at you. Who's that guy? You know what I mean? Who are you? You know, in your social circles, especially, I guess when you're growing up, if you don't know anybody, it's hard to break in to a group of people who are talking, because you know they know each other,
Right.
and you trying to stay. You're an outsider. But in the networking world, really nobody's. There gonna be some people that may have come to the event and they know each other, but a lot of times those group of people are just people that are just talking. They don't know each other like that. So if you
Yeah.
walk up, it's not like you busting in, quote unquote, of a private conversation. It's just that, you know what I'm saying, you have to shed those personal cues and understand this is a totally different arena. Those rules, those social rules don't apply here. You know what I mean? And so those one of the things that I learned. And then also, you know what I'm saying, I just say, well, I don't care. Whatever happens, happens.
And and I definitely understand that feeling, because a lot of times you're thinking, like, even if they don't know each other, they've already established a form of communication.
Right.
And so when you come up, it's almost like, someone opened the door and some wind came in.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, who is this? Like, okay, well, he's listening, and I remember those times. And so what I would do is, if you came up and we were listening, just to invite you in and make it more comfortable, I may say
Right.
something like, well, as you can see what we're talking about here, but what's your take on it? So that way, because we're there to network anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know what though? You know what though, Big? A lot of times people aren't like that. And that's a shame. You know what I mean? Because in the networking group that I'm in now, I'm the visitor host.
Okay.
And what I do is, so I treat it. I make sure I add the Southern hospitality, because I was that guy in that
Yeah.
in that position. If I see somebody, hey, come on, hey, how you doing? You doing all right? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? What do you do? Oh, okay, then let me point you in the direction. That guy, he will be in your contact sphere. Let me put you together, and maybe y'all will have some kind of synergy or kind of a connection that, will bring you in to want to probably join our chapter or something like that, or maybe join the organization. Maybe not our
Right.
chapter, you know what I mean? But still, I totally agree with what you said, because I try to be that way, because I remember how, terrified. And to some degree, I still am. I'm still a work in progress, you know what I'm saying? But the
Yeah.
only difference is I throw myself into the fire. Case in point. When I first started networking, I know you're familiar with Charlotte, there was a networking event in South Park, okay? And you know what I'm saying? When I think of South Park or an event like this, in my mind, there's a lot of big dogs up in here, you know what I'm saying? A lot of big money. Can I hang with these guys, or do I got the chops or the, the experience to, hold my position here? All of a sudden, I almost had a big anxiety attack.
Wow.
Right there on the sidewalk in front of the venue. I stopped. Dang, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Then I said, then I got me a silence. I said, no, If you're gonna look bad because you went in, not because you got so afraid and you walked away. So I
Right.
went in, you know what I mean? Now, granted, I wasn't in there gung ho,
Right.
but at the same time, I forced myself into the situation. And I met a few people, got a couple of calls, but I wasn't really looking to close a sale. What
Okay.
I was doing was trying to exercise my strength, and you know what I'm saying, and more try to push that fear to the side, let you know that there isn't really anything to be afraid of. If
Right.
they don't like you, they don't like you. If
That's
they
it.
tell you
That's
to
it.
leave, they tell you to leave. So what? Go to the next one.
Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I can see that some people, well, really, everybody has to do things by steps. Every blue moon, you'll have someone that's just that type of gifted.
Right.
It's just like they're on a surfboard, they hop in the water for the first time, they take off. But for the most of us, it's just like, well, first of all, is the water too cold?
Right.
No, we need to test the water before we even put the board in it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I listening to what you're saying, what types of books, mentors or training resources would you suggest for our listeners when it comes to networking? Like, do you have a favorite or some favorite quotes or anything?
You know what, man? All the gurus and the guys with the 10-step plan and the 15 steps to do this, they wouldn't like me if I come around. You know what I mean?
Tell me
Because I
about it.
would dig in their pockets. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because big dude, it's really not that hard. Honest, dude, straight up, the game is not that hard.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? There's a networker here in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? I guess I consider him a mentor. I look at the way he moves as a networker, and I like his style. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
I got you.
He's not uptight. He's loose. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? He's personable. You know what I'm saying? He's an ex-Air Force guy. You know what I'm saying? So he does have structure, but he's real loose with. He's personable. To get into it, he had a quote at I think a couple of his meetings ago. He said, "It's not hard, but it's work." Let me say it again. It's not hard, but it's work. Okay,
That's nice. I like
you
that.
know,
It's simple and to the point.
right? See, this is what it is. Every time you network, it's all about the relationships you form. Everybody wants to do business with people they know. I'm
Right.
sorry, I've tried to, what I'm saying, cold call, what I'm saying, the connecting on LinkedIn with the message, hoping they'll respond. What I'm saying, I've done a lot of that. Now you get somebody that a lot of people say, well, it's a numbers game. I get
Yeah.
all that, but the people that you do get, a lot of your business come from somebody referring you. That's why all these referral groups are popping up, because they do understand that aspect of it. Now, you have to understand that when you do make these connections, these referrals, what are you doing after you meet them? That's the key. Are you checking on them from time to time?
Right.
Are you seeing, are they good? You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know what? I was talking to another lady that she's in marketing and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? She said that she had to schedule time to follow up and check on people. She's so busy. She's taking that time. I said, you know what? I said, you make it way too hard. Sometimes, I don't know if you're spiritual, but you know how when God puts somebody's name in your head,
Yeah.
oh, I got to contact that person. And then you just go off and do something else. No, stop. Take 3 seconds to either text, call, or send an email to that person. Just say, hey, how you doing? Just thought about you. Hey, just want to make sure you're good. And then go back to what you're doing.
Right.
What I just said took how long? What? 5 seconds tops?
Right.
Right.
And that's something that I practice as well, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when you do say, let me take this minute, they may have something for you that
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't have got thinking about on your own.
Right. Right. And again, that's what Larry was talking about. Okay. Those small things. Now, granted, and he said, oh, even on top of that, when you go on all of your people that you network with. You know, say take the time to get involved with them. All these little things that you may think that's tedious. You know what I'm saying? Go to all these networking events. Yeah, I mean, it's really involved, and a lot of people looked at the way that I move, and because of the position I am, we're going to go into, you know what I'm saying, talking about being an international presence and being visible internationally.
Right.
Because of the, you know what I'm saying, the way that I move internationally, I visit a lot of places. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, some people, I do get tired sometimes, but I still go on. Again, it's work. You know what I mean? It isn't no 10-step easy plan to, you know what I'm saying, do this, you know. So you got people, you know what I'm saying, chasing after. That's what I like to call it. Just like in church. They go to every, you know, the preacher said they go to every seminar looking for, you know what I'm saying, looking for what's the term for? Not an awakening, but
A quick
a
fix,
delivering, a
cash.
deliverance. Right. They're chasing. If you
Right.
just stop, take care of what you have in front of you, do those things. Look, I was talking to my senior, my senior partner today, and I said to him, and I said this to somebody else because, you know, I network at a high level. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take this point because it's going to segue me, and I ain't ready to say it yet. But anyway, in this time that we're in right now, we're all forced to network via teleconferencing platforms. Okay.
Right.
With that said, there's only a certain amount of time where it's going to loosen up a little bit. People are going to try to pull away from it, but we're all still going to come back. So I told myself, I said, you know what? This period of time is only a certain amount of time. If you're a comic book head, you know that a lot of storylines is the time portal is going to be open, but so much time.
Yeah.
You need to do what you need to do and get back. So
It's
I
like
say,
you
you
don't
know
want to
what?
get stuck. You want
Right,
to get stuck at
exactly.
that time.
So what I do is, you know, Big, what I do, I say, you know what? I'm going to go hard. I'm going to visit everywhere I can visit via this platform that we're on right now and get the most out of it. And I'm
Right.
not going to let up until the situation says, okay, you're done with it. Okay. With that said, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times that come up that I have to be in certain places, i.e., we're talking about international. If you're going to visit somewhere in Europe or Africa, you're going to have to be up at 1:30 in the morning, between 12 and 1 and 2 in the morning for
Right.
their 7 o'clock meeting or their 6 or 8 o'clock meeting. Okay. A lot of people aren't willing to do that, but I am. Why? Because I understand that, here's my point, success is never convenient. Success is never convenient. Sorry, I tried it. It's never convenient. There's always gonna be some time where, man, I want to talk to you. Case in point, Big, when you called me, it was on a Saturday. I'm at the flea market with my son, about to walk in. But you wanted to have a conversation. Hey, be one front. You're a potential customer. I'm gonna stop and to see what you have to say. Again, a successful moment, but at an inconvenient time. Okay, well, you know what? I'm standing in the middle of this dirt parking lot, talking to Big about what he want to do. You see what I mean?
Right.
Success is never convenient.
And then
And you go ahead.
and definitely, I remember the biggest thing was that, you know, when you told me what you were doing and the way I am, you know, I was just like, okay, I do understand that you press for time, so I'm going to be quick because you were with your family, you know, you're out. But then when we started talking a little bit, that quick 3 minutes might have turned into 10 minutes because we immediately jailed.
Right.
You know, and yeah, and I definitely appreciate you coming on. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna share my screen so that everybody can see your card and the website real quick.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. So guys, for those of you who don't know, this is Mr. Bruce Springs that I have on, and he's going to he's talking to us about networking for those of you who are just joined. As well as formycard.com, which was one of the ways that I met him. So I'm gonna pop this card up there. Can you text that card information again?
Yeah, do we put it in the chat room?
Yeah. And then that way I'll pop it up for everybody.
Oh, it's in there. It's in the chat room.
Okay.
Just open it up and click it. Do you have your card? I can put your link in the chat room if you want me to. Make it convenient for you.
Yeah, that way I'll show them. I'll show them both designs.
Okay.
So for those of you guys up that can see this, this is his card that he uses, that he shares with people. So if I click that call button, is automatically going to call him as far as his business card. Here, take me to the site. Here's a call. If I need to email him right away, I can email him. That's also his email. So he has a text message, his web, his LinkedIn profile, Instagram profile, Facebook, and add to contacts. And then tell them about this here little QC
QR code,
even though it says it there.
Well, the QR code, just like what I have over my shoulder, is a more easier way for the person to get your information instead of have to manually type it into their browser. That's the main purpose of the QR code. And the QR code has been out for almost we'll say 7, 8 years, maybe a little bit more than that. This is what I can recall. And with that, you know what I'm saying, it's already been there, but really we never had a use for it, you know, until COVID. You know, if you don't utilize the QR code, you don't eat.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. So that's one of the things that's one of the other things that COVID did. It ushered in a lot of new things that we're doing, and the QR code is one of them. So you have someone scan that, you just make it easy, another easy way to transfer your digital information.
Now, and one thing I'm gonna share here too is that, guys, while this is on the screen and you see it here, I'm gonna put my phone up to it real quick. I scan the QR code. And immediately it took me to the web version of his card, which disappeared when because I had it. But so, yeah, so scan that QR card right now. When you see this, get his information, give him a call, visit the site, get the card. I'm going to share mine with you real quick here. Can you put that one into the
It's in there. Go ahead.
Okay.
Just waiting on you.
All right, guys. So, and just like I said, they can do a lot of different designs. So he has the LinkedIn, the Instagram, Facebook. When you hit add to contacts, that's going to add you right to the contacts. The web is going to take you to the website he needs you to go to. You can text them. Everything that you would want in a business card, but the most important thing is that you let them know what I'm about to say.
Well, again, you know, if I may, I apologize, but I like to segue into something else. I don't know if you're pressed for time.
Oh no, well we have a good 5 minutes left.
5 minutes? Oh. Quickly, you know what I'm saying? Our card, not only because you have all those links there, it helps with the sales funnel. Okay. If you have all those links there, anybody that got your contact information, they immediately have your social and all your other internet-based platforms. One quick example. At first, we were all about the brand. You know what I'm saying? We say a Ford, we bought a Ford. We didn't care what it was. And then we progressed as consumers about the product. You know, with things like Consumer Reports and the internet, we compared the pros and cons of a product, and then we also look to see how I measured up to the competition. But now we're on a personal level. And what I mean by that is not only do we know the brand and the product, but we also want to know, how are you as a company? How many people are liking you? How many people are sharing you? How many people are following you? But most importantly, after I like, share, or follow you, how are you going to treat me as a customer when I comment, when I share your content, or when I like your content? And depending on how you treat me, then I'll be on the bottom of the funnel. Then I will buy or utilize your services.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where we are as a society now because of social media.
Yeah.
So when you give your digital card out, not only do they get your immediate contact information, but they also get all your social media platforms, and you can add Google reviews. You can add Calendly or any other scheduling link, you know?
Oh, okay.
So what you're doing, you're funneling all those people to your social platforms, and you didn't do a thing. They did that for you. You see what I mean? And so
Well, I'm
then when
glad
they
that
get to
you
the
mentioned that
funnel,
part, because I didn't have the my scheduling link on there. I just had
right?
the typical basic information that I do a number of things. So certain people know me for particular things.
Mm-hmm.
And my social network, Facebook, YouTube, you'll never really know the full gamut of what I do or the different businesses I have set up. So
Right.
I'm gonna share my card real quick so that they can see the difference in it. But I'm definitely gonna add the other area for scheduling, even though that may be on, on those sites.
Right. I got one more thing I want to talk about
Sure,
before
talk
we
about
let
it
out of
right
here.
now.
Okay. Well, go ahead and just tell them about your card right quick. Just
Oh,
tell them what you
well,
got.
basically, the way mine is set up is my actual one of my business cards that's there. This is the parent company.
Mm-hmm.
So if they hit the call button, just like his, they're going to be able to call me. They want to email me, they'll email me. It also has the phone number and everything for people who just want to do it the old fashioned way. They could text me there. They could go to the web, which will take them to this particular site. They also, if they're looking for funding, whether it's a business or a real estate investor for whatever type of funding, they can click that. That's a link. If they want to learn something about real estate, that's a link. Right now, a lot of people who know me, they click this link right here, the Think Big Radio link, so that they will go to the website so that they be able to, listen in on this interview, or regardless of what interview may be going on, they'll be able to do that. Of course, the contacts and then the QR code. And this, of course, just like I said, will take them right to thinkbigradio.uk, thinkbigradio.com, so that they can, actually see what's going on.
Okay, let me if I may have the moment for a minute, I just want to just say to everybody, yes, COVID is was a trying situation we're still going through, and they're predicting the second wave. But let me let you in on something. Now is the optimal time, just like I gave the analogy of the time portal.
Right.
You can be international. If you sell jewelry, you have a web presence, and you sell jewelry. Let's say for you sell handmade jewelry. If you went out and meet new people, not only can you meet people in other states, but you can meet people in other countries. So now you just had this local presence that you've been pushing stuff around the people that you in your immediate circle, in your immediate vicinity. If you really get out there and start to meet people, you can make contacts all over the world. Let me tell you why. I've done it. If you go on my LinkedIn, scan my QR code on my card, get on my LinkedIn. On my page, you will see that I've visited people in all countries. I mean, I've been to Mexico. I've been to Japan last night. I'll go to Australia. I have friends in Australia. I have friends in Malaysia. I have friends in Africa. I'm not talking about just acquaintances. I got to know people that if I visited their place, I can stay at their house.
Right.
All because everyone is comfortable with networking on these platforms. Whether you talk about Zoom, Microsoft Teams,
Right.
Google Meets, it doesn't matter. The world is open. It is smaller. And if you take advantage of all this, you can reap the rewards of all these major corporations that had a global presence. Please understand me.
Yes.
People love to talk, well, don't mind talking to you. Out of 20 people you reach out to, you get 5 back. That's a damn good ROI. Please forgive me. But that is a darn good ROI. Okay? Go out and meet people, because again, those relationships you build, like my man Larry said, it's not hard, it's just work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you go out, meet people, go to Eventbrite, look up for virtual meetings in Las Vegas, virtual meetings in Louisville, Kentucky, virtual meetings in Montreal, Canada, virtual meetings in South Africa, virtual meetings or meetups in London. I've been there too. You see what I mean?
Right.
All these things are accessible because everybody is forced to network via teleconferencing platforms. And that hold on, before we end up with this. And to put a bow on it, your paper card is useless. It's in a box of 500 collecting dust. So get that digital business card from formycard.com, and then you will have the greatest networking tool pre and post COVID.
You absolutely right, man. I love it. I love it. I love having you on here. I just got 2 quick questions.
Go ahead.
You had 2 minutes to give the key to business success. What method would you share with our listeners? That's question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
The second question is, who would you like to thank? And then at that point, we'll be ending the show. So the first one, 2 minutes to get a key to business success.
Key to business success: do the work. That's all. Do the work. Everybody is looking and hunt. I mentioned this before, and I stand on this. Everybody's looking for this get rich quick. This, you know what I'm saying? Pay somebody $50 to $60 to tell you how to do something. Now, granted, you'll find something in there, but I'm willing to bet you that even when you go to those seminars and those meetings and you put that money down, I'm willing to bet you majority of those people, after they paid that, they ain't gonna do the work. And then they're gonna go to the next one hoping it'll be a little bit easier.
Right.
And the game ain't
learn something, not take advantage of it, and move on to the next one. You're absolutely right. Now, who would you like to thank?
Well, you know what? Ain't but one person I could thank. My Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus. He gets all the credit. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be in front of you right now. You know what I mean? I could tell you some stuff to make your hair stand on end. Bruh.
Well, listen, if you can make my hair stand on end, please do. Because I want this up here to look like this down. We're going to talk about that offline. And the next time I come on here, guys, I might have an afro.
But we serve a God. He's so pinpoint accurate. He'll touch that follicle if he wanted to. You dig?
Well, Bruce, I'd like to definitely thank you for coming on. I'm glad we had a chance to
thank you for having me.
Share what your expertise is. Show some of the sites. I'm sure we're gonna have you on one of the forums later on down the line. And once again, guys, you're listening to thinkbigradio.com. We appreciate you. Please share, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and always think big.
BIGradio.com, where big thinkers come to teach and learn. Your goals are our goals, and your success makes us successful.